So I'm going to preface this story with um,
Uh-oh.
lies, damn lies, and statistics. And
Yeah.
and I will fully acknowledge that the statistics in this story are bullshit. But I think there's some interesting things to take from it anyway. So this is a story that came out in Bloomberg just yesterday. The title is "For the First Time, Renewables Surpass Coal in U.S. Power Mix," and that sounds great. The and I think maybe we can put up the graph here.
Yeah, I got it. Hold
You
on.
got it. Yeah. So I think the graph is probably the biggest takeaway from the story. So essentially, what they did is they compared energy from coal alone. They didn't consider natural gas or any other sources of non-renewable energy, and compared it to renewables that included solar, wind, and hydroelectric. And basically, in like one of the cooler months of the year, the renewables actually produced more power than coal, and they felt like that was a big moment, and I tend to agree. And again, if we've got the graph up here now, and I think that the really big takeaway is the trend, and over time we're certainly making progress. Now that renewables line doesn't go up very steeply. It's a very slow, gradual trend. But coal does seem to be making a pretty precipitous drop, and I think that's consistent with what we know about the coal industry right now. Is it is failing, and is destined to fail pretty precipitously here in the coming decade. So I think this is promising information. There's a lot that's not quite right, and probably in the next 2 months, the numbers are going to shift back the other direction, and that's okay. I think as long as we see these two continue to move toward each other and eventually crisscross each other, that we're moving in the right direction for renewables. Not sure hydroelectric necessarily fits neatly into this. Like I said, natural gas and some other sources of power were not considered. Nuclear is not considered. So there's a ways to go before we can say we're all living on solar energy. But really interesting story to see that at least some progress is being made, and I think it segues well into what we try to talk about on this show. Is that alternative energy vehicles give us the opportunity to use something other than the non-renewables, the coal or a fossil fuel based oil. And once we have that source in enough amounts, it becomes much more practical for everyone to be able to do it.
Right. Now, what I'm doing here with the little numbers and it moves around, you can see that the sawtooth of each of the line mirrors each other. So they're either really close together, coal is down and renewable is up, or they're really far apart. Coal is up and renewable is down. But yeah, you're right. At some point, maybe in 2020, we'll reach that where renewable is always above coal. And and yeah, that'll be a great thing. And we've seen a huge shift toward natural gas. That's not reflected here in this chart. But yeah, I feel this is a pretty good trend. Stop digging up so damn much coal and burning it. Keep the carbon in the ground where it is.
Mm-hmm. I kind of thought this would be at the solstice at high noon, but I was surprised to see it was the middle of April.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to lead me into my USA Today article from June the 19th, 2019, exactly a week ago at the last show, with an article entitled The Trump Plan Breathes New Life into Aging Power Plants. So we all know the thing, and I put up the picture earlier, Trump digs coal. A lot of his votes came from coal country. And so he had to make promises for them. And one of the promises he made was U.S. coal, we're going to dig more coal, and we're going to give more people black lung, and we're going to risk their lives a mile under the ground. But as we saw from that chart, that's not what's happening. Unfortunately, we have an administration who keeps trying to jack up coal and hold it up and give it incentives and booster it and do everything they can to keep it as a primary energy source. But its days are numbered. Let it go.
Yeah, the money talks in this case, and their economic model for coal is just gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's cheaper to put up a wind farm than build a coal plant and run the coal plant. Times are changing.
Yeah.